everybody, welcome to Sensible Fitness, and in today's video we're going to talk about cheat days. Now, I'm not a huge fan of cheat days in and of itself, and this video sort of encapsulates the reasons as to why I'm not such a huge fan of cheat days or the concept of cheat days in general. Firstly, cheat days can cause a break in the habit. Now, I am not a huge fan of doing a crash diet or a super restrictive diet. My ideology is more towards building nice eating habits that you can carry on for the rest of your life. And having cheat days sort of act as almost like a pause button on those habits. So you spend 6 days, sort of getting yourself used to eating whole fruits, whole vegetables, whole foods basically. And then on this one cheat day, all of a sudden you just throw it all out the window and have super processed food with lots of saturated fat, lots of sugar in it, and it is just a huge break in habit. And as anyone knows, the only way to actually make a long-term habit is to keep doing it almost every other day and doing it as consistently as possible. And this cheat days sort of act as a deterrent to that. Cheat days also reinforce this idea of good food versus bad food. So on your regular days, you can have only good food. You can only have broccoli, you can only have kale juice, you can only have vegetables and fruits. That's it. It's disgusting food. You cannot have any good food whatsoever. But on cheat days, screw it. You can have anything you want. You can have pizzas, burgers. You want 10 chicken legs nicely deep fried in a very, very unhealthy batter? Sure, you can have that. And this idea of good food and bad food in and of itself is flawed because there is no such thing as good or bad food. There are good or bad quantities of food, sure. For example, if I have a pizza every day, that might be bad depending on my diet, on my levels of health, on my goals, that can be bad. But if I'm having a bowl of broccoli every day, that's probably going to be healthy for me. So it's all about quantities of food which can be good or bad. It's not the food in and of itself that is good or bad, which is sort of the idea behind having cheat days. Is that you are very, very good and you have very good food on certain days, and then on this day you can just have anything you want. You can have all the bad food, or quote unquote bad food that you want. So this is not about cheat days itself, but sort of about the stuff that happens around cheat days. Now, whenever people do take cheat days, they're often doing, super restrictive diets. Diets that say you can't have any food at all. You just have to have only juices. Foods that say you have to have dinner by 6:15 after praying to the blood moon and sacrificing 25 sheeps, or something like that. And this, like super restricted diets, what they do is they just add so many more stressors to a person's life. And these type of super restricted diets are hard to follow because most people don't need to follow them at all. Like if you're an athlete or if you're a competitive bodybuilder, then yes, I can see why you would need to follow that. There is a very short term or at max a medium term end goal that you have to achieve. So for example, if say you're a sports person and let's say your sports cycle starts 30 days from now, and in those 30 days you have to go from your current weight and you have to lose say 5 kgs of weight. Going on a restricted diet for you definitely can help, because you have to lose that weight by a certain period of time. But for most people that's not the case. They don't need to put a timeline on their health. They can lose weight over 30 days, they can lose that weight over a year even, and there won't be much of a difference really, as long as they do lose the weight. Especially if we do take the 6-month timeline instead of the 30-day timeline. That timeline also sort of gives them the ability to learn healthy eating habits and build up other healthier habits which they might not have picked up doing these super restrictive diets. Not to mention the fact that these sort of super restrictive diets also put a lot more stress and pressure on people who are trying to lose weight, because it makes it easier to quote unquote fall off the horse or fail at the diets, because most of these diets just give you a certain amount of food to have everything. And what happens is, anytime that you even have, for example, let's just take the low carb diet or the no carb diet. Anytime anyone craves any carbs and they just go, I just crave carbs, so maybe I'll have some fruits, or maybe I'll have a slice of pizza. what happens to them psychologically is they feel like they failed, because that's what the diet says. These super restrictive diets sort of go, you have to have these types of food only. If you don't, you've failed. And because they feel like they failed, they'll immediately quit. They'll give up and they'll go, oh, I just can't lose weight at all. So these super restrictive diets around which, cheat days are sort of kept don't actually help weight loss. They mostly hinder it. Last but not least, the cheat day in and of itself. Now, normally people might have one pizza per week, maybe, right? They may have a burger, a pizza a week, and that's about it. But on this like cheat day, because it's like, oh, this is the one day when I can have anything. All the other days I just have to have, plain boiled broccoli and I can't have anything else. But on this one day I can have anything I want. People usually go overboard. They'll have 25 chicken fried rice bowls, they'll have 10 pizzas, 5 burgers, 10 KFC buckets, and they'll just go so overboard that the caloric surplus that they build up on their cheat day will basically wipe out the overall deficit that they would have attained over the past 6 days or how many ever days that they have been dieting. Now, as you all know, fat loss is based on one and one thing only: caloric deficit. As long as you're burning more calories than you consume, you will lose fat, and by extension you will lose weight. I've covered this in my calories net calories video and in my how to calculate your calories video as well, and you can check those out right over there. So all that matters is that you're in a caloric deficit. And let's say over 6 days you diet properly, and let's say that you do follow a sort of super restricted diet and you do get into a 300 calorie deficit over 6 days. But on this one day, if you eat so much that you actually are in a caloric surplus of 2000 calories, what happens is over the long term or over the entire week, you are in a net caloric surplus of 200 calories. So the hard work that you put in over 6 days, because you've gone overboard on your cheat day, that's been completely and utterly wiped out. And all the hard work that you've done is basically for nothing, just because this idea of a cheat day sort of makes people go overboard and have much more, much more than they normally would have. So what can we do instead of having a sort of cheat day? What else can you do? Now, as we've said before, the only thing that you need to remember, the only thing that affects fat loss and weight loss, at least over the long term, and if you're looking at a sustainable method, the only thing that affects it is being in a caloric deficit. As long as you're in a caloric deficit, you will lose fat, and by extension, you will lose weight. So a solution, and again, this is completely dependent on you. So this is something that works for me, doesn't mean it has to work for you. But a solution that you could have is to just have small rewards every now and then again. The first thing that you have to do, obviously, is to cut out your super restrictive diets. Most of them don't really work, and most of them do put too much pressure on the person who is dieting. So try and cut that out and try and start building healthier habits. And don't go overboard when you do go for your cheat meals. Yes, I know it. If you do choose to have cheat meals, I know it can seem like there's one rare opportunity to have anything you want, but please don't go overboard, because going overboard will increase your caloric surplus and can diminish the hard work that you put in over the past how many ever days that you have been eating healthier. The past how many ever days you have been in a caloric deficit. And last but not least, if you do plan to have cheat days, plan your cheat days. So, for example, instead of just on the day going, oh no, I only have 24 hours, how much can I order and how much can I finish? Maybe plan it in advance. So I have been very good with my diet. I have been in a nice, consistent caloric deficit of 300 calories every day. On the cheat day, I'm going to have a pizza and a bowl of pasta. Now, you have planned that, and you can also calculate the calories for that. Now, you might be in a small caloric surplus, but the fact that you've planned exactly what you're going to eat means that you won't go overboard, which means that you won't, diminish or destroy all the hard work that you put in prior to your cheat day. As always, this is up to you. It's what fits your daily habits. It is what fits you. There is no one single, set in science best plan that you can do. So really is based on you. Thank you very much for watching. That was the video on cheat days. If you like the video, like, share, and subscribe. Please do click the bell icon to get notified every time a new video drops. If you have any doubts, comments, questions, or any topic ideas which you want me to turn into a full-fledged video like this one, please do drop it down in the comments below. Or of course, you can DM me on any of my social media platforms. If you're interested in conversations about music, check out the Basic Travel podcast. If you're interested in gaming, check out that Indian Gamer. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.